All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er breaking news. The Niners have announced their injuries for this week. We'll get into it coming up next. And, of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out. So get there early. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get some brisket. Get some brisket chili. Tell them the Krug sent you. And this video is also, or this live stream is brought to you by Sharp Corners, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. And my good friend Anthony Catania, who will be at the game tomorrow night, you can reach him at 831-521-5264. All right, let's get to the news of the day. The 49ers take on the Rams on Thursday night. Niners and Rams. Niners got to have it. Absolute got to have it. But the story today is the injury front. Trent Williams with the ankle is out. Malik Mustapha with the chest/shoulder injury, he's out. And, of course, Ben Barch with the high ankle sprain, he is out. So Barch is probably headed towards the IR. Mustapha and Trent Williams will miss this game. Nick Bosa with the hip/oblique. Dre Greenlaw, who's trying to come back from the Achilles, and Isaac Guerendo, as well as Khalil Davis, all listed as questionable. So it will be a game time decision for Isaac Guerendo if he can go against the Rams on Thursday night. But Guerendo, Greenlaw, Bosa, and Khalil Davis, all questionable. Trent Williams, Malik Mustapha, Ben Barch, all listed as out. Now for LA, Kobe Durant, their cornerback, and Tyler Higbee, their tight end, are both out. LA's got 6 players that are questionable for the game, including Demarcus Robinson and Jordan Whittington, who were 2 of their star receivers in the first matchup back in week 4, as well as young tight end Davis Allen, all listed as questionable, in addition to others. But those are the 3 big names that are questionable for the Rams. So Niners and Rams on a Thursday night, and it's a huge game for both. And, you know, if you say, is there one number that makes you nervous or defines the game? LA's got 1 turnover in the last month. The 49ers have 8. That's a non-starter. You can't win if you don't win the turnover battle. You can't win. The 49ers don't win when they don't win the turnover battle. When they're even or they're behind on the turnover margin at the end of the day, they lose. When they win the turnover margin, they win. So that's it right there, in a nutshell. Now, Kyle Shanahan is 10-6 against Sean McVay. He's had the upper hand in almost all of these matchups. Except McVay beat him in the NFC championship game for the right to go to the Super Bowl. So that's the one that I'm sure Kyle would trade. He'd trade that loss for all the 10 wins that he has over McVay. But McVay has, Shanahan's had the upper hand in the regular season, 10-6 against Sean McVay. Now, what is on the line in this game? A Rams victory is going to knock the Niners out of the playoffs. A 49er victory keeps them alive in the NFC West division race. The one big difference between this game and the last game between these two teams is Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. They didn't play in the last game, and they are playing in this game. Cooper Kupp's last regular season win against the Niners came way back in 2017. That was his rookie year, week 3 of the 2017 season. Since then, LA's beaten the Niners 4 times in the regular season, but Kupp was inactive for all 4 of those games. He was on the field, though, for that 2021 NFC Championship game, and he dominated. He caught 11 balls for 142 yards. He was the star on their final drive, and he's their target leader right now with 88 targets. And he's really most dominant when he lines up on the left side of the formation. So look for a really key matchup in this game is going to be Demo Lenore on Cooper Kupp, and the winner of that matchup may wind up winning this game. The Rams are trying to win 3 straight for the 49ers for the first time in 25 years. It's been since 2001, nearly 25 years since the Rams have won 3 straight against the Niners. LA has not swept the 49ers in the regular season series since the 2018 season. 49ers have the 6th worst third down defense and the 2nd worst red zone defense. If you look at some of the numbers, the Niners have allowed opponents to convert 43.9% of their third downs into first downs. That's 27th in the NFL. So that's not nearly good enough. And the Niners allow touchdowns on 70.1% of their opponents' red zone trips. That's 31st in the NFL. That's second to last. In fact, the Niners coming into this game have allowed a touchdown on 11 straight red zone possessions. Now, Bears didn't get to the red zone last week, which was good news. But the three previous weeks, the Niners were 0 for 11 in the red zone against their opponents. They can't be that bad in this game or they're not going to win. Now, where's an advantage for the 49ers in this football game? The Rams secondary is a major weakness. They give up 6.9 net yards per pass attempt to their opponents. That's 2nd worst in the NFL. The Niners, conversely, are averaging 7.7 net yards per attempt, 3rd best in the NFL. So the Niners rank 7th in passing yards, but only 28th in passing attempts. So they've been very, very efficient this year when they've thrown the ball, and they should be able to throw the ball on this Rams defense. Now, the other thing that's kind of a key for the Niners, they're a front runner. The Niners are the ultimate front runner. They are 0-4 this year when they don't score first. They're one of only 4 teams that hasn't won a single game this year when their opponent scores first. The Niners need to get out to a lead. They can't play from behind. They fall apart when they fall behind. So that's a major thing to look for. Who scores first? Isaac Guerendo, by the way, will be a game time decision. As we said, he was nominated today for the Pepsi Rookie of the Week. Guerendo has been really, really good in a short amount of time. And we'll see if he can go this week. Now, the key for the Niner offense is you got to block Braden Fisk up front. He's got 6 sacks. And, the key for the Niner defense is you got to stop Puka Nacua. He's got, Puka Nacua is really most effective in that 10 to 19 yard range. He's really dominant in the middle of the field. So that's really where Puka's really, really good. Yetur Gross-Matos, by the way, was named the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week for his performance against the Bears. 3 sacks, 4 tackles for Yetur Gross-Matos. Maybe he's coming into his own. I mean, that is the hope. The Niners, by the way, on the news front, they restructured Javon Hargrave. They did a little bit of a contractual adjustment to Hargrave, converting some of his money. Kyle Shanahan said the plan is for Hargrave to be a Niner going forward. We'll see how long that lasts. George Kittle, by the way, gifted the entire team Crocs for the holidays. Every guy on the team got some Crocs. What is it about Kittle in the shoes? He bought the media a bunch of pairs of shoes, and then he buys his teammates a bunch of Crocs. He's very shoe-centric. I've noticed that. Dre Greenlaw was a full go today at practice, and he broke the team down. I'm starting to think that we may actually see Dre Greenlaw tomorrow night. I think there was thought that maybe they would hold him out to the Miami game, but now I don't think that's the case. He was a full go at practice today. It was the final practice before the Thursday game. He broke the team down at the end of their pre-practice huddle and said some words. I think Dre's going to go. So we'll see. We'll find out soon enough. But that would be a huge shot in the arm for the 49ers. Brock Purdy has the record now for the most games with a passer rating of 120 plus in NFL history by a quarterback in their first 3 seasons. Purdy has had a 120 rating or better 13 times in his first 3 seasons in the NFL. That's a record. And he's got 6 games with a passer rating of at least 140. That's the most for any player in his first 3 NFL seasons. So Brock Purdy's been pretty good. And when John Lynch went on KMBR this week and said, man, I don't want to talk about Brock's contract, but he's our guy. I think that pretty much shut up everybody who's been talking about, well, don't sign him, maybe move off of him, trade for another guy, go for a reclamation project, go for a rookie, all the different non-pay, don't pay Brock arguments, I think are falling on deaf ears. The Niners are going to pay Brock Purdy. And when John Lynch comes out and says he's our guy, That may have been the biggest revelation of the media week from any 49er this week. The other thing that is so perplexing about the 49ers and somewhat frustrating, I don't know if you guys saw this, the 49ers are the second best yardage differential team in the NFL this year. The Eagles are number one, but the Eagles are 11-2, and they're plus 1,129 yards on the season. The Niners are plus 1,040 yards, second best. They're 6-7. Who's 3-4 on this list? Detroit, who's 12-1, and Baltimore, who's 8-5. So the Niners are the only team in the top four as far as yardage differential that has a losing record. So what does that tell you? It tells you they've been absolutely horseshit in all situational football. They're not good offensively in situational football. They're not good defensively in situational football. They're not good in the red zone, and they're not good on turnovers. I mean, they're not doing the little things that you need to do to win. Of course, the Niners will bring a 6-7 record into this game. The Rams are 7-6. 49ers, though, are favored. They're +2 or -2.5. The Niners lead the all-time series, 78 wins for the Niners, 70 for the Rams, 3 ties. Of course, last week the Rams beat Buffalo and hung 40 on them, 44-42, while the Niners beat up on the Bears 38-13. So you got two teams that are playing well coming in. 49ers are feeling good after that win last week. They feel like they have momentum. Brock Purdy said it. How do you win this game? You got to defend Kyren Williams up front, especially on the screens. He's got 28 receptions on 34 targets for the year, and he's deadly on screen passes. One guy that I'd love to see get going in this game is Debo, don't point the finger at me, Samuel, who has only 97 yards from scrimmage in the past 4 games. It's time for Debo to put his money where his mouth is, or at least show up and back up, the talk. Because you can say it ain't your fault and this and that, but, sometimes you just got to close your mouth and produce. And that's tomorrow night for Debo Samuel. As far as the Niners and the Rams and how they match up numerically, offensively, defensively, Rams have the number 15 offense. They're 25th rush offense, 9th pass offense, 16th in scoring. The Niners on defense are 3rd overall in the league. How about that? We've been ripping the shit out of Sorensen. They get the number 3 defense in pro football yards-wise. They're 12th against the run, 3rd against the pass. But where are they in situational football? Not good. Because while they're 3rd in yards allowed, they're 21st in the NFL in points allowed. And that's really been the issue. The 49ers have kind of underachieved because they don't play good situational football. Now, if we flip the card, look at the Niner O against the Ram D. The Niners O is ranked 4th overall, 7th rushing offense, 7th passing offense, 11th scoring offense, number 4 overall. The Rams defense is 27th overall. They're 28th against the run. They're 24th against the pass. They're 24th in points per game allowed. So it's not a good defense by any stretch. And the Niners should be able to score. Now, Matthew Stafford is the key in this game. He was totally dominant against Buffalo. He threw for 320 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he had 0 sacks. He was not sacked. 4th time this year that Stafford hasn't been sacked in a game. By the way, LA is 4-0 in those games. This is where the game is going to be won or lost. These numbers really are quite revealing. In the Rams' 7 wins, Stafford has been sacked 6 times. In the Rams' 6 losses, Stafford has been sacked 22 times. 22 sacks in the losses, 6 sacks in the wins. If you want to get a win, you better sack the quarterback. LA's offensive line is much, much better than it was back in mid-September in the first matchup back in week 4. But Leonard Floyd is also playing really great ball right now. Leonard Floyd has got 5.5 sacks in his past 4 games. Yatir Gross-Matos is coming off the game of his life. So to me, this is where the game's going to be won. The Niners are either not going to pressure Stafford and they're going to lose, or they're going to pressure Stafford, sack Stafford, and they're going to win. It's really as simple as that. It's all on the defensive line in this game. Juwan Jennings rolls in really hot. He's got 7 catches for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game last week against the Bears. JJ's got 6 touchdowns on the season. He had 7 touchdowns in his first 45 games of his of his first 3 years in the NFL. He's got 6 this year. So how about that? Jawan Jennings in the first matchup back in week 4 against the Rams, 11 catches for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. We'll see if he can do it again. As I mentioned, the key matchup is Cooper Kupp on Demo Lenore. Kupp's got 44 receptions out of the slot, 4th most in the NFL. And that's despite the fact that he missed 4 games. So this is the NFL's preeminent slot receiver, but this might be the NFL's preeminent slot defender in Demo Lenore. And I can't wait to watch that matchup. Now, the Niners are in a gotta-have-it mode. Why? Because unlike the past, the last 2 years they won 11-1 against the NFC West. They're 1-3 this year against the NFC West. That's why they're at where they're at. They're 1-3 against their division. So that's a major factor in this thing for sure. The 49ers have not been good in the division, and it's got to stop. It's got to turn around. It's got to turn around right here, right now. It's as simple as that. They don't win this game, and you can pack it in for the season. It's really as simple as that. And Stafford doesn't give you, Stafford gets rid of the ball quick. So not only are the Niners going to have to impact Stafford, his average time to throw is 2.61 seconds. So, you got to either get there or you got to affect him. How do you affect him without getting there? Let's talk about that. You got to get your hands up. You have to get your hands up. Not only do you have to sack Stafford, but if he's going to get rid of the ball in 2.61 seconds, that's 48th out of 66 NFL quarterbacks, by the way. If you're going to get Stafford, you're going to have to sack him at times. You're going to have to make him hold the ball. You're going to have to take away his first read to make him hold the ball. But then you're going to have to get your hands up. You're going to have to bat down some passes. If he's going to get rid of the ball in 2.6 seconds, odds are you're not going to sack him a lot, but you got to get your hands up and you got to make it challenging for him and shrink those windows down and force him to throw through a sea of hands. It's as simple as that. If the Niners don't seriously impact Stafford, they will lose this game and the season will be over. So it's all about what can they do up front against Matthew Stafford. If you look at the numbers, the Niners, as I said, 4th in total offense, 7th rushing offense, 7th passing offense. The Rams are not good on defense. 26th in total D, 28th against the run, 24th against the pass. The Niners offensive line has to dominate and take over this game. The Niners have to get a lead, and then they've got to make the Rams one-dimensional, take away Kyron and his ability to run, make Stafford in a pass-only kind of mode, and then pin back your ears and go get them. It's simple as that. 49ers are 3rd in total defense. They're 3rd in pass defense. They're 9th in sacks with 35. You got to make Stafford feel your defensive line or you're going to lose this game. It's really as simple as that. He's coming in on an old-fashioned roll. He's playing really, really well. If he continues to play kind of carefree, the Rams are going to win and the season's going to be over. If the Niners can impact Stafford, get in his face, put up hands, bat down a couple passes, impact him at the line of scrimmage, the Niners will win this game and they'll stay alive in the NFC West race. So there you have it. The breaking news is Malik, Mustapha, and Trent Williams are officially ruled out. The good news is it looks like Dre Greenlaw is trending towards playing, and Isaac Guerendo is going to be a game-time decision. And by the way, let's hit a couple chats here. Iceman says, I went to Emeryville, Pig in a Pickle yesterday. I told them Lazy Larry sent me. Thank you. Thank you, Iceman. Iceman, you didn't say if it was good. I know you thought it was good. But everybody check out Pig in a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open. I say we're open. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. So, it's as simple as that. 49ers have got to get this game, and you've got to go to Pig in a Pickle. It's just as simple as that. Danny says, we hate the happy promo intro when you have bad news to report, Larry. I know. What can I say? Kyle McKiernan says, that stat this morning was disgusting. We should be at the worst 4 games as losses, but injuries and tragedies are what it is. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers have had a rough year. It's been a rough year on the field. It's been a rough year off the field. It's just been a rough year overall. Kyle McKiernan says, the brisket chili is really good. Seriously. Absolutely. Get the brisket chili. Tell them that Larry sent you. All right. I'm off to Costco to do some grocery shopping before I've got Niners Nightly tonight at 6. Greg Beecham is going to stop by from LA. He covers the Rams for the AP. He's going to join me. So join me at 6 o'clock on the Sports Leader, 680 on the AM dial, 104.5 on the FM dial. And we'll have our night before the game 49er show, Niners Nightly, and we'll look ahead to Niners and Rams, and we'll talk a lot with Greg Beecham about what he expects to see from the Rams in this matchup. Woodpit says, hit the samples, Larry, at Costco. Occasionally I will. If they're passing out something that's looks delicious, I'll be all over it. Anyway, guys, that does it for the quick live. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all of you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. And on that note, peace. We're out.